Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm running a little late. Too much tutoring. I blame Dennis.
And I'm still stuck. Well, a different part.
Oh, you progress, but didn't get that far.
Yeah, I wanted you to be able to eat, so.
Yeah, I didn't even do that.
Oh, no.
Looks like we have totally different people from last week. That's fine. Just makes it easier because now everyone's on the same level again. So I'll ask if everyone has Visual Studio Code up and installed and Git. And if you need those links, I can provide those links for you. Oh, I should probably open up my chat. Okay. Sorry, Danielle, I'm a little slow. This first one is for Visual Studio Code. Second one is for Git. We're going to be working off of this GitHub. Does everyone have a GitHub account as well before we get too far? Yeah, I know you got one this time. Christina, you got one. Danielle, you have a GitHub account. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, we got Adam. Adam's coming in. All right. So I am just going to start off here on the repository page that we are going to clone and bring on in to our project. So, and forgive me if no one was here last week, correct? Briefly, nope, okay. So we'll start from the beginning, and this is fine. I have nowhere else to go. So, all right. So we are looking at, on this repository, we're looking at a couple pieces that, is this the one that I want? Let me make sure this might not be my repository. It doesn't look correct. GitHub workshop. It's not what I'm looking for because it's the forms. I have so much stuff. This is it. Sorry, let me redo this. Oop. If I can get to my chat window, I can paste this in. Turn on my other screen so that I can manipulate this a little bit better. All right, so this is the window, the site that we're on. All right. So what you'll find on here is we have just a basic index.html file, which when you click on it, just brings you here. What we're going to do today is we're going to fill in that index file with the different components that are found in this component folder here. We're doing really basic stuff. You just basically want to get you up and running onto a web page to begin with, and then over the next couple of weeks we're going to build out on this. So but today we're basically just going to create a basic resume page. It does have styling, it does have, you know, that has a little bit of oomph to it, not a whole lot, but it's nice, plain and simple. And then but the basic two files we'll be working with are the index.html file and then the style.html file. And the style.css file, sorry, is much like if you're, you know, in programming too, and you're trying to make your JavaFX boxes look kind of cool. Well, that's what the CSS, you can actually use the CSS on those, on the JavaFX, but we're going to be using it on the HTML. So if we were to do basic stuff without CSS, your website would look something like from like 1991 or 1992 back to the old message boards with no real colors and no real styling. Everything's pretty much the same stuff. So that CSS allows us to make stuff pretty, add color to it, some depth, and some other stuff. But if you scroll down on the README file, we have some, you know, kind of a brief overview of what, yeah, retro for us old guys, who were alive before the internet was a thing. Um, Basic kind of overview of what HTML is. So that's just hypertext markup language. So when you get that on a quiz or something else, you can boom, drop it right down there. It's a cousin to XML and XTML and XHTML and um, all other types of markup languages. And you can always tell it's a markup language because it ends with the ML versus a markdown language, which this file is actually built on. You'll see readme.md, which is a markdown file. But much like when you're working in a method or in a class in Java and you have the opening brackets and the closing curly brackets, HTML has what we call tags. And every tag has to have an opening tag. Every call or every element in HTML has to have an opening tag and a closing tag, outside of like one or two special cases, which we will actually talk about later. But for right now, just understand that everyone has to have a opening tag and a closing tag. And just like those curly brackets in Java, everything that you want to be depicted in that specific element needs to be enclosed in those opening and closing tags. So just like in, let's say we have our class, which has opening and curly brackets, then our method inside of our class has opening curly brackets, and then let's say we have a for loop inside our method has opening and closing brackets, and let's say inside there we have big if else statement, and there's ifs and else ifs, and so basically we have, if you think about it, we have brackets inside of brackets inside of brackets. They're all nested together. This is kind of the same concept when we're thinking about HTML. So you could, for example, have a H1, which is your title, your header tag, which 1 being the largest size, and header tags go from 1 to 6. So I could have that nested in other tags to make it to make my page layout the way that I want it to be laid out. Of course, I could just put an H1 out there and it will work fine. But typically, we're going to nest our tags with our elements within other elements. So that's kind of a brief overview of CSS. And when we get hands-on, hopefully it'll become a little clearer as we progress through it. CSS, on the other hand, which are cascading style sheets. So what that does, I should leave it here, is it allows us to take a element from our CSS, from our HTML, and then assign it a property for a specific thing that we want to change in it. So if, let's say we have a font. So in this example, for each one on this page, we have font size, which is a property, and then we're going to give it a value of 12. And in this case, it's 12 pixels. So I think everyone knows what a pixel is. It's just that little dot in your screen. And that's going to determine how large or how small that the font is on the screen. And then we have another property here, color, and it's valued blue. So we're going to end up with our H1 tag is going to have whatever we decide to have, whatever text that we want in between those two tags. So let's just say hello world, because everyone's done at least a little programming, so you all built at least one hello world app. So we have hello world, and it's going to be blue, and it's going to be 12 pixels tall. Of course, we can manipulate the size, the different colors. Colors, HTML or CSS has a set of, I want to say 255 colors that you can look up on the internet, and to, you know, like blue, red, all those other ones. And it's like almost like Crayola or crayon box, you know, the orange, red, the red, orange, and going through there. Typically what you'll find in today is that people will use the cut down on my dog's barking a little bit, but we're going to use hex signs. So it's going to be basically your hashtag or your pound sign, depending on how old you are, and then 6 alphanumeric characters after that. And that's going to delineate what color you have. And there's tons of sites. So I'm just gonna, I have Adobe Color. So here's my hash. So I can kind of change what color I want it to be based on the sliders and the RGB numbers down here, and it'll change my hex. So once you find your hex, you can plug it in right into your properties, or right into the value for a property. You can also use the entire RGB spectrum up there. So in lieu of blue, if you were doing a hex, it'd just be the hex with the the hashtag with the 6 digits afterwards. If you're doing RGB instead of that, it would be RGB all in small letters, and then in parentheses you would have your 3 values separated by commas, and everything would come out, whether you're using the name, the hex, or the RGB code, everything would come out with the same color. And then you have the last piece of your traditional web pages or web coding is JavaScript. And JavaScript makes everything kind of work. We're not going to use any JavaScript today, but we will delve into that in upcoming sessions. But basically, just as you know, you're in JavaFX, you have a button. You can depict the button in HTML and CSS, but to get the button to do anything, you need JavaScript to be there to take the command. And it is not anything like Java in terms of its coding. It's an actual functional language. It's not OOP, so it's not an object-oriented programming language. But how Java and JavaScript are related are that they were both developed by Oracle back in the 90s, and Java was starting to become popular, and they developed this scripting language that was working with the web, and they wanted to kind of use their product that was gaining in popularity and kind of ride its coattails, so they called it JavaScript. So that's how we got JavaScript. That's their relation. There is no other relation in terms of any coding or anything else involved. All right, so is everyone on this page? Because we're going to download off this page. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this green code button, and what we're going to do is we're just going to click on the download zip, and it's going to download a zip file. So you can just go ahead and save that. So let me share my full screen. So call this up. Oh, Jacob was here last week, so he's getting a little bit of a review since we got all new people this week. Sorry, Jacob. So I knew I'd go, mine should be in my downloads. So I have this zip file right here. All right, so I am going to unzip this file, and I am just gonna, for me, you can leave it here, whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna drag it to my desktop because I find it easier to work from off my desktop. And it's called the GitHub Pages HTML CSS Workshop Master. Lot to say in one breath. So what we're going to do here is we're going to rename this folder. All right. Hopefully everyone knows what their GitHub username is. All right. So what we're going to do is, so I'm going to type this up in here. So I typed in the chat, yeah, GitHub, just GitHub username. So for me, mine is lfbox7. I'm going to .github.com or .io, sorry. So go ahead and rename that file. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Visual Studio Code. And if you already have a file in here or whatever, that's fine. You can just go up to File and then Open. But I'm just going to I'm going to go right from here. I'm going to open folder. It's on my desktop. Where's my desktop? Here. I'm going to open my file. And I should have a little tree that mirrors what the website had. I have an assets folder, components, a README, an index, and a style. And I have an index, a style, components folder. I have a assets folder, and then the README file. All right, let me know if everyone's up to this point. Either speak up or just tell me in chat. Thank you, Christina. If you need me to repeat anything, let me know. If you got behind, you get stuck. We're in no rush.
I'm gonna have to go back later and watch the replay. I'm multitasking.
Okay. All right. This is the same thing we did last week. So we're just repeating because we got all brand new people this week.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So I think I've already done all this, so
yeah,
I should be good.
All right, Jacob. See you next week. Or on Friday. Everyone come on Friday for the resume building.
I'm here for support as well, so I'm listening in.
All right, Danielle's good. Adam, you good? Dennis, you good? Guys following along?
Sorry, yeah, I was actually had to sign in, so.
Oh, okay. How about you, Dennis? Oh, okay. The IO file, you mean renaming it .io for the folder? All right, so here we can actually open up our our index.html. And I basically created this exercise so that you wouldn't have to work too hard on the first time, but we could explain as we built stuff out. So what you're going to find is that everything that, all these green pieces in here, these are all comment lines. And this is going to be where we're going to it's either going to state that, hey, this is the head section, or where we're going to insert stuff, or it goes here or something of that nature. I guess I was kind of lazy and didn't label everything exactly the same, but it should be self-explanatory. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to line 9, and I'm just going to close the tag up. All right, and I'm going to cut this right now. So this is our basic HTML file right here. We have our declaration on line 1 of the document type that we have, which is HTML. And then we have our opening HTML tag and our new, with HTML5, they've asked us to put in a language, and ours is English for what we'll be using. Because now in HTML5, you can pretty much use you can do the tags in almost every language, but you just have to make sure you tag it, give it that specific property, or that property, the language property, the specific value. All right. And then inside our HTML tag, you'll notice we have 2 other tags. We have the head tag on line 4 and the body tag on line 9. So these 2 tags are very important for us. The head tag tells the browser what's going on with this file. All right. So it's going to tell it what kind of text we're using. It's going to tell it what the title of this page is. It's going to tell us what outside files we need to link to this page to make it to work, to get it to work correctly. It's going to be able to tell it, like the description, when you Google a certain website, it has a little description when you look at it in Google, right? It's the page title and the description. Well, the description comes from the head tag here. And so basically all of the metadata, if you will, that revolves around this particular file is found in this head tag. Then in line 9, in this body tag, everything that the browser is going to show the user of that browser is going to be found in the body tag. So if we want to, say, put a title for this page that we want to show on the web page, it has to be inside the body tag. If it's not inside the body tag, it's not going to show up on the web page. Okay. So I'm just going to open these back up a little bit. And then I'll keep body closed. All right. So we're going to start with kind of the meat and potatoes. We're going to start with the head file, with the head tag. So if you expand out the components folder by just clicking the caret to the left of that, we're going to open up the head.html file. All right. So in this file, we have the basic meta tags and title tag that we need to make this file run correctly. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to copy this out. We're going to copy it. We're going to go over to HTML, and where it says insert our head tag information here, we're just going to paste it in. So the one thing we are going to change here is we're going to go on what my line 10 is. Yours might be slightly different. And we have a comment here. So I'm going to just highlight that comment. I'm just going to tab and it's going to erase the comment. And I'm just going to write in my name. File save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my folder here. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to see the index.html folder or file. I'm going to double click on that and it's going to open up in my Firefox. It might open up in another browser for you. And what you should see is on the tab up on the top of your page, get my pen out here and circle it up for you. What I just typed in, Leonard Box, is now the title of my page and it's now there on that tab. You'll see we have no content because we have not included any content yet. And we'll start doing that in a second. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave this page up. I'm going to go back to my Visual Studio Code. All right, so I have my head stuff up. So I'm also going to grab one other piece here, and that's going to be inside the links.html. So in this file, we have links to our CSS files that we're going to use for this particular exercise and for this particular web page. All right. The first one is pretty self-explanatory. It's just the style.css. You'll find that in your file tree over here down the bottom. But the next one down is we have a link to a Bootstrap CDN. So Bootstrap, and in this case, Bootstrap 4, is a web framework that was built by Twitter back about, I think, 12 years, maybe 11 years ago now. And they're now on version 4. But what this is this has its own CSS. I'm going to copy this and go back to here. I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm just going to paste this in here, that whole thing. But I am going to change this address just a bit. Well, actually, we'll do it first. So this is the minimized version of the CSS for Bootstrap. And it's minimized to make your website load faster. So there's no empty space. If I were just to go up to here to the address and delete the min, I deleted too much. No, I didn't. Okay. I'm just going to delete the min. And so bootstrap.css. And you'll see it'll load up. Now it looks a little bit more presentable and you can actually read it. So this is much like the little piece on the README file from our repository, except for this is an actual CSS file, so it looks a little bit different. What you have here is you have our tag. So this is our opening HTML tag, and everything kind of works, if you will, like I always like to think of it as an array. So I have an open and closing squirrely bracket, and then I have 4 properties with 6 different, or with 4 different values. Hey, that all going to me? Yeah. Okay. All right. So you can scroll through here at your leisure. It's not, we're not going to delve too deep into all of the CSS because there's a ton of it in there, and it's basically for tons and tons of components and that we can use from Bootstrap, and we'll get into Bootstrap more in the next coming weeks. I'm just going to close this tab up. All right, so I'm going to go back to my Visual Studio Code. I also have a specific font family that we're going to use in here called Roboto that I got from Google. So it's from Google APIs list. And we can actually open this one too. I don't know what it looks like because I haven't looked at this thing yet. So it's just going to tell me the different font faces for different text types. We're, of course, Latin, if you didn't know. We're not Greek or Cyrillic or Vietnamese. Apparently, you can't do Arabic. It's kind of crazy. And then our last one is for Font Awesome. And Font Awesome is those little icons that you might see all around, like Facebook icons everywhere and Twitter icons and maybe like a little house and the little envelope for email. Those all come from Font Awesome. And we'll get into those a little bit later, but suffice to say they're all there. So what I'm going to do is on line 11 after title, I'm going to give myself a space. I'm going to paste these links in. So what this is going to do now is this is going to allow this page, this HTML file, to find all these styles and then use those styles to create the page, the look of the page that we want. All right. So let's start, well, let's move into the body. So our first one here is line 22. So line 22, we're going to take and we're going to grab the nav bar. So nav bar is here. Just going to open that up. It looks white because I forgot to call it an HTML file, so, but it's there. I'm just going to copy that up and we're going to paste that information in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, I'm going to save all, even though I only have one page. And I'm going to go back to my browser. I'm going to refresh, and all of a sudden I have some stuff going on now. I have a rudimentary nav bar, and then I have some boxes in here that have no content and have a little shadow around them. And we'll get to those in a second. Those are called cards, and they're actually our next thing up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to grab, I'm going to put it right here in line 52 on mine. So we're going to go open up card number 1. And we'll get a lot of stuff in here. So I'm just going to copy this all, paste that in. I'm going to save again. I'm going to come over to our browser, refresh, and now all of a sudden I have some stuff. All right, so let's go back and see this stuff that we have. We're not going to touch the nav bar today. It's going to be next week when we start adding additional pages. But so this is where line 52 is where we actually started to put in here some stuff. All right, so this is the first part is our image tag. We do not have any images right now. All right, so, but we can, I don't even have images in there, but that's all right. We'll add that a little bit later on in the class. So our image tag, if you haven't noticed, is one of those rare tags that does not have a closing tag, just has opening. no image on the back. You can always tell the closing tag because the closing tag has that slash before the name of the tag. So that's your closing tag. Opening tag, no slash. Closing tag has a slash. And it's a slash, not a backslash. All right. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Close that. So after our image, you see it says avatar up here. So because it could not find the image, it went and just gave it the alternate name for the image, which was avatar. So that's why avatar is there. So that is one of the features of HTML. Yeah, sure, Dennis. You can do what you wanted to do last time. So that was from the summer, huh? And so what we have, so for browsers that may not be able to load fast or may not be able to load the image at all, or maybe it's for accessibility reasons, we want to have a title for every image that we put in, and that's what that alt does. That's our alt title. And what that's going to do is it's going to print out, at least if the image doesn't show up, what the title of that photo is. On a screen reader, it will probably, especially if it's an audio one, will actually read the title from the alt line here of what the image is. Okay. So we're going to skip down. All right. So as you can see, we have lots of nesting here. We have a div, which is a division, and not really a set HTML form. You can just consider it as like the basic block. But because it doesn't have any set characteristics, it's easy to give it characteristics. So if you look, for example, in line 48, we have given it a class, and this is a class attribute, and we've given the class attribute row to this particular div element. And this div element now becomes a row, and this row actually has all the properties from our Bootstrap file. So if we actually go back here, so we weren't going to go back, but I'm going back. My prerogative, right? Let me get rid of the min so that we can actually see this. All right, I'm going to control F, row. So these are the basic properties of a row. And Bootstrap 4 is based on what CSS3 created when it came out, which is called the Fluxbox. And Bootstrap and this Fluxbox essentially allows you to build a grid of elements. Prior to the Fluxbox and then, you know, after with Bootstrap as well, which came after the Fluxbox, but all of your websites used to be created with tables. So everything would be created in a table. So if you think about, you know, just any table, say we just put it into, you know, a Word document or Excel spreadsheet, you can of course, say we have 3 rows and 2 columns. We can of course merge 2 cells together, right? Oh, I should have done this separately. Oh, that's not what I wanted on the draw. So we can merge to make, this one big row. And then we could have, more content over here. Maybe we want to merge this column. And I didn't break that column up, so it's going to be. And I want more content over here. Then I have an image. So that's kind of how we would do it with tables. So you would merge and remerge and stuff like that. You can still build tables, of course. But the problem with tables is really a Google problem. So if you are unaware, I mean, I guess you have to be under a rock, but Google has this huge repository of pretty much every website in the world. So it sends a bot out to find websites constantly. And most developers actually have a file on their within their server to tell Google to come, what to search and what not to search on their page. But what Google cannot efficiently search are tables. So in order for you to kind of get better results for your website in Google's search results, you don't want to have a big table on your website because Google cannot see what's on your website. So it doesn't know what the content really is. So all it can go on is what's in the head title and whatever is in the head tag. So it can only go on the description there and on the title of the page. So it doesn't know what links come out of it, where they go, because those links are important for your search engine optimization, as they call it, to bump up your scores, and also what header tags you're using, the H tags you're using. Some people like to put tons of H1s on there, but Google says you can only have one H1, and if you have more, you get penalized. So there's lots of little things about SEO, but we're not going to get into that down that rabbit hole. But suffice it to say, this Flexbox that CSS3 came in with, so that's CSS version 3, that was a game changer for the way that we are able to develop websites. And then Bootstrap, i.e. Twitter, went and added on to that to make it easier for us to use. And so there's a basic grid, if you will, for Bootstrap, which is set up with containers, rows, and columns. And I'm going to have to erase that. You'll find all of this in here. We have a container here. Oop, I can't do that easily, can I? Red's not good in here. So I have a container here. Oh, no, give me my draw. I have a container here. I have a row here. And I don't have any columns, but that's kind of how it works. I don't need columns, but then you can, we scroll down further, see if I can get those to container and row almost. And then I have some columns over here. And those are actually, this is actually one row. All this white space behind here is all one container. And this here is actually 4 columns wide. And then this is 8 columns wide. Because Bootstrap works on 12 columns. I don't think I said that. So 12 columns wide, and it's all by percentage. So as we shrink down, and we're creating a responsive website, meaning that as I shrink down, all my stuff gets smaller correctly. And why did it get bigger here? Because, well, all those other 3 spaces that we're going to fill in later stack down below. So if you're on your phone, you can actually just scroll through easily and not have to be squinting like Dennis does on his 60-inch TV hanging up on his wall 20 feet in front of him when he's trying to code. So that's our grid system, right? One of the components of our class here are cards. That's part of Bootstrap again. And we'll get those when we hit Bootstrap. But we're just going to change our name here. So you can change your name. File save. Refresh your browser. And your name changes. So you can change up your title. I just put web developer, so that's over in line 55 here. So I'll just change that up to software engineer today. I'll save. I'll refresh, and now I'm a software engineer. All right. So you can go in and fill in this information at your leisure. All right. And then we get down to like languages here. So I'm not 100% sold on this, but it looked good, so I kept it. Just mainly because oh, it's 40 feet or 40 inches or 40 feet from your TV's 40 feet from your eyes. Right. So I just put some languages in here, and you'll see them starting on line 62. You can change them up, right? And kind of the way that you understand them. So, for example, if I said I was better at Swift now, let's say I'm 85 now, I would change the 85%, which is going to be in here. So I'm just going to be save. And you see it changes 85% here, but I'm still lower than the 80 there. So I'm going to also change the width. And by changing the width, that's going to push that bar out further. All right, so that's how that works. As you can see, we have those little icons here. I think that's a toolbox. I get a house, I get the phone, I get the email, a nice little globe. I get a little wrench for tools. Maybe we can switch up the toolbox, I don't know. And you can see those are annotated by the FA, which is Font Awesome, and then Font Awesome Briefcase. And then I have some specific styling in there for the width and the colors and where I wanted them. So we can just go over here to go Font Awesome. So you can pretty much find any icon that you want over here. You do a search. My internet's a little slow. I wonder why. There we go. Oh, it was there and then it wasn't. Did I break the internet? Yeah, doing weird stuff for me. What the heck? Okay. All right. Suffice it to say, if it came up for you, you can pretty much plug in anywhere and some sort of icon will come up. Sorry, I don't know why it's my Firefox is being weird with that today. All right, so we have tools on there. Tools work the same way that the languages work. And then we're going to grab another card. So I have in card 2. So I'm going to go back and open up my files, card 2. I'm going to copy everything in card 2, which doesn't seem to be a whole lot. Come back over here and I paste it in. Use this so I can see. I save, and refresh, and I should have. So in my case, I'm computer science, so I put computer science in. You of course can change it to whatever you are. This is being recorded. So I thank everyone. You don't have to change the Texas A&M University, San Antonio. You can, of course, change line 99 in this case for me, and then also in line 98 if you got here before August 2019 or afterwards, whenever. What do you call it? Change that up. Right now, I have it just as a little pill, if you will. That's band class or tag, which again goes back to Bootstrap. So it comes in with the present, and it's Madla because that's Madla maroon, which is the school color. So nothing big there. Let me go back and we're going to grab card number 3. File save, refresh. Now I have my work experience. You could split this up a little different if you'd like for title. And then I just threw in some lorem ipsum. I'd probably replace this with the bullets that I have on my resume when I get that far. And then our last card I didn't want to do that, is 4. So I'm going to go in and paste on 4. And I don't even remember the volunteer experience. Oh, did I miss the? Oh, I guess I don't have a. I don't have a nice little icon for that one. Oh no, I do have. Why isn't that working? No, I totally messed my stuff up. Oop, how many do I have in there? Oh, I forgot the beginning of my tag. Add it and then I get rid of it. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore. I go to Font Awesome, but it doesn't let me in right now. Try this page. When you click on them, they should bring up the information on it. Oh, it's an S now. Okay. It was not an S this summer. It's still not an S. I don't know. I have to figure out why helping and helping is not working. Very interesting. Is this a pro one now? That's why. I think it's because it's a pro. Try one more time pasting this in. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, I'm gonna. There's probably an issue with that. All right, I guess we'll have to find a new one there. What am I gonna do? All right, so let me span this out. So basically, what we have is we have 4 cards, and our cards are all lined up together. Maybe you change this volunteer experience to something else, or maybe you get rid of it. Up to you. All right. But the one last thing we need on here also is our footer. So we don't have a footer. So we're gonna go. We're gonna grab our footer, which will go in here, line 137, which we don't have. So I'm just going to file save this. So this is going to be a bunch of links to our social media and then the copyright for this year, and then followed by your name here, which should be your name. So I'm going to let me bring this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to my name again. And then up here in lines 37 through 41, so I know this one offhand. So this is just in. Dash box. Save. I put too many ends. Save. No, I don't want that. Replace. Okay. So I am going to refresh. And now I should, when I click on here, I should open up to my LinkedIn page. Holy shit, I got a lot of stuff going on here. I just dropped the S-bomb on there. Okay. All right. So this is our basic website right now. All right. One thing that we don't have working that we're going to need in the future, because we need it for this to work, our navigation, is we need JavaScript files. So what we're going to do is, I have these already created, the scripts for them. So just in scripts, I'm going to go and we're going to grab, these are all just the basic Bootstrap ones. We don't have any custom stuff that we've built out here. So I'm going to put those right here where it says insert scripts here. File, save. And what that should do then is when we actually start putting stuff here and linking in our pages, because we don't have, it doesn't go anywhere. There's no pages for it to go to. Now all those links will work correctly and the sizing will work correctly, stuff like that. Okay, so now we're going to do some more work in, no, I don't want to close that out. Definitely don't want to close that out. So in Visual Studio Code, okay. So we have, what we're going to do here is we're going to delete this folder. So I'm just going to right click on it. I'm going to delete. As long as you have already copied everything out of here, i.e. followed along with what we've been up to here, you can delete this folder. It's no longer of any use to us. I'm going to move it right to my trash can. All right. So all I need in here are these two files. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into the README file here, and we're going to go and we're going to just take everything in here, and we're going to just erase it all except for the title. So in markup language, our each one is just one hashtag. So it's a hashtag and a space to make it work correctly. So we're just going to do my homepage, or actually let's do my website. We're just going to save. Okay. All right. So we change that because we're going to use that README file once we push this back into our own repository up in the nether regions of GitHub. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this little alien looking 3 dots and two lines connecting them. Icon, which is our version control icon. And we have two things that we're going to do. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to publish to GitHub. All right. So what should happen for you maybe is it's going to ask you to log in potentially to GitHub. Did you get a window to log in? Yes. Okay. So go ahead and log in. I'm already logged in, so I guess I could have logged out, but I didn't think of it. So hopefully this window popped up where I'm at right now. Does this pop up for everyone if you logged in, after you logged in, or hopefully, fingers crossed? Yes, okay. All right, we're going to select the second one, which is, or the second one for me, which is public. It tells me I already exist. And that's fine. I'm going to do it to somewhere else because I already have a page set up there. So call my website. You keep it the title of what we called the folder. So, all right. So I'm going to make sure those four checkboxes down here are selected. I'm going to click OK. And then it should be publishing up to GitHub as we speak. And then we're going to just click on this button, Open GitHub, which should open up to our repository. All right. All right, Christina. There's so much to the good part right now, almost. Did everyone get to this point? Able to open up the link in where you're at? So for me, I'm going to go to my actual repository. So we can follow along with this one better. Oh, there it is. All right. So we're on our username.github.io repository. All right, and we're going to click on settings, which is right here. We're going to scroll down about halfway or so, maybe a little more, maybe 2/3 of the way down to where it says GitHub pages. And hopefully on this page, this block is going to be green. And there's going to be a check mark that says this site is published to https lfbox, well, whatever username is, .github.io. Everyone see that, hopefully? Hopefully Dennis isn't all messed up. Ready to be published? Okay. What's your repository name, Adam? So does it have an option to publish it? Or you want
It
to
did.
share?
No, it did have an option to publish it within what was that? The Visual Studio, and it said it published it, but it didn't. It
You
didn't
want
show
to
up.
you want to share where you're at?
No, actually, I gotta go. The wife just
Oh,
got home, so we gotta make dinner.
okay. All right. I understand.
No, I appreciate it, and I'll look at the recordings. But
Okay.
yeah, no, this is definitely beneficial, especially what we were talking about, and when you were TAing for the class earlier about like posting stuff that you're actually working on and
Yeah.
your resumes.
All right. Cool beans. Dennis, were you able to publish? Okay. I'm going to Dennis's page.
It says ready to, but haven't
No,
done anything with it yet.
that's all right. It's published. This is from the other page.
From summertime.
Yeah, from the summertime.
Yeah, if I click on it, it's still got your old background with the wagon and the blue bonnets.
You might have to replace it.
Yeah, I just hadn't got that far whenever we were doing it before. So it's at least got some stuff filled out, but not quite all of it. So that's why I'm hanging in there.
Danielle, how are you doing? Hey, can you share your screen, Dennis, on your Visual Studio Code? Can you go to the Visual Studio Code? Okay. No Studio Code, no VSC, Dennis? Did we break you? Man, what's going on?
He's
Jumping.
putting the wrong thing on there.
No, well, you had the whole desktop, so you could have just clicked on it.
Yeah, but it's showing on my desktop.
I understand. We'll just,
That's the weird thing.
you go on a screen too.
Yeah, I've got the TV going too, so maybe that's part of it.
Make sure you go to screen one or wherever it's on. I have my TV on too, so.
I got like 7 things up here. If I can figure out which one it is.
Just share desktop and then click on the icon on the menu bar.
Have all of them showing but desktop. Oh, I got more here. Okay. Let's see. One of them say desktop. One of them says GitHub.
No,
Let's see if that works. Same thing.
oh, that's just to that. Okay.
That's not even what's showing on here. Is that showing now?
No, I just have the
Just the
file
same thing?
explorer. I have the file explorer.
I'm trying to move it between screens and it's still not doing it, I guess.
Let's see if I do this. Can you see desktop now when you share?
Let's see. Just show screen 1, screen 2,
Okay, there
whiteboard.
you go. Okay. Whichever one your VSC's on, or you need it to be on.
Well, it shows number 1, but every time I click on it, it shows
That's
the
fine.
other.
That's fine. Just move it to the other screen, that's all. Just click on the menu down below, on the menu bar.
Is that showing?
No, scroll down. I see your browser.
You see that?
Now I see it. Okay. So can you go up to on your tree up to the ellipsis
Where's that?
under run, top menu, run. The ellipsis above, right under run. The 3 dots.
I got this share menu in front of everything, so
Oh, I get you.
it's hard to see it. That's why I couldn't hit play earlier whenever we were working on that other.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about all I can see there, and then I see all the way over to here.
All right, just pull it down a little bit then.
Can that share screen go to the bottom?
Yep. Just drag it down a little bit so you don't have to, so it's not underneath there.
I want to close it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So the ellipsis under run. Oh.
Okay.
Now can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's go to push.
Okay.
Full push. Push 2. And where'd you end up pushing to? Oh, okay. Oh, because it replaced that one, I bet. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I typed in what was it? My website. Will it go to that now, or if I send it to it?
No, this is
This?
yeah. So let's go back to your GitHub. We'll fix that up. It's easy.
Where was it?
To scroll up to code, all the way up to the top.
All the way.
So code on that menu underneath your username and the repository. Nope. Up, up, up.
I'll code.
Yep. And then we're just going to go down to, scroll up a little bit. And just, let's go to the HTML.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
And then there's a little trash can in the upper right-hand corner before you go too far.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
You go ahead and just dump. You have to, you might have to put a, yeah. Then you go back down and you can get rid of portfolio. You just hit the trash can on that one too. It's on the top of the file. You do the same one for resume and portfolio CSS.
Okay. All that work I did.
All right, now let's go back to your Visual Studio. Oh, do that, yeah. Go back to your Visual Studio Code. All right, so go back up to your ellipsis under Run. And I want you to changes. They changed all this, so I'm kind of. Now let's go to commit. Let's go just do commit all.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. All right, so then we'll go back to the ellipsis and go to push or pull push, push to. Click on that. Click on that one, yep.
It's working.
All right, so let's go back to your GitHub.
I just close it. Oh, there it is. Open Git log. Do I need to do that or?
Cancel, I don't know. You might have to change them. Let's just go over to your browser real quick and refresh it. You can X out that learn Git without any code.
Let's see.
No, just refresh the page.
Oh,
Scroll down. Okay, it didn't come in. That's fine. Okay. Hit that underscore config y the yeah, and trash that too. We don't need that. All right. Let's go back to your VSC. We're gonna have to pull
which one?
VSC code.
Oh, was that on the visual?
Visual Studio Code. So the ellipsis and then pull from. And then click on the master. Master. Yeah, so click on the first one in your tree, the index.html. So somewhere, scroll down. Or actually, I think you hit the plus, I think, in the tree. Yeah,
Stage changes.
yeah, I think that's it.
Keep our version.
Delete file.
Okay.
You can do the same thing for a portfolio.
Okay. So all those with the line through it.
Yeah.
Index 2. Or does it have it? Oh, it went down to here. Okay.
Yeah, and then the style CSS.
So which one?
Yeah, that one right there.
This?
No,
Oh.
the merge changes.
Oh, styles. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now we want to go up to ellipsis and we want to commit staged. And then we want to go back up and pull, push to.
Saying something about fetch over here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, so now let's go back to your browser and refresh your browser. Read me my website.
Merge branch.
Okay. But we don't have the index file. Go back to your VSC. Can you go to your files? So the, yeah. Well, no, down below on the left sidebar, the two files.
Oh, this one.
Web fonts. Index. Oh, that first index file in the first tab. Yeah, that one there. Click and open that one. Was this? This seems very extensive.
Well, this is what we did during, or you had it during the summer. I copied yours,
Okay.
remember?
Okay. All right.
And then I was filling in my stuff on it.
Yeah. Click on the other index HTML. Get read only. Where's the other one? Okay. Click back on the Git icon. Oh man, I don't know if we had. Oh.
May I wiped it out?
Yeah.
My luck today.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, let's go here. Don't go back to your VSC and go to the resume file.
see, I'd filled in some stuff.
Okay, so let's go. Let's copy everything here. Should be able to select, edit, select all, copy.
Up here?
No, from the edit bar up top.
Oh,
No selection. It's selection. I saw it.
oh, selection. Okay.
Select all, and then edit, copy, or Control C or whatever you want to do.
Old fashioned.
Not even old fashioned. All right. So, all right. Go ahead and close out all these files. You have a bunch of tabs open in the VSC window.
Oh, up here. Okay.
Yeah. So, see the X next to deleted resume? Yeah.
Okay.
Click those X's. Click those X's. Click those X's. Click those X's.
I always forget
All
about
right.
those
So
tabs.
now we're going to go and we're going to click on the little next to your folder name. There's a like a folder with a plus and a file with a plus. Hit the new file, which is next to it to the left.
That one?
Yeah. Index.html.
Index studies.
Index.html.
Heard something entirely different.
Click enter.
Okay.
Paste. Save. Go back to where the number 1 is on your left bar there. The ellipsis. Up on top, commit. Commit.
All or just right?
Doesn't matter. It's only one.
Okay.
So type in like initial commit or something. Version 1, whatever you want to do. Then the ellipsis again. and then push to your remote. And then let's go back over to your browser, which is the one all the way to the left. Down below on your menu bar.
Okay. Good timing.
Refresh. Okay, now it's there. Good.
Initial commit.
All right, so now let's go to your, so like 4 tabs to the right up on top, you have a resume.
Or to up here.
Yeah, click there. Click on home. You can't click anywhere
I
else.
only had a few of them that were.
Yeah,
that
well, you
one
can't click on any of them right now because that's all.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I had a few that would actually work, like 3 of them. Yeah, still got a lot of it on there.
Yeah. How you doing, Danielle?
Do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, you can start.
That way Danielle can get on there.
It's still following. Okay. Now, you got any questions? Because we're about done for today. So. You want to publish? Okay. All right. Well, this will be going up on YouTube probably tomorrow because it takes a while for it to convert. Then it takes a while to load. And I have other stuff to do tonight.
Like help me with the rest of my homework.
Yeah, I have homework to do too.
You do?
Plus, I got a programming 1 lab at 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So thanks for coming. I hope you got some stuff out of it. And next week we'll continue on. Friday, don't forget we're doing resumes and LinkedIn. So if you don't have a resume or if you have a resume, they're going to start checking. The May Center people will check, and then well, I guess Danielle's gone, so that's just for you.
So is it an upload from Word or what is it?
Do you have a resume?
Yeah.
Okay. Has it been redone and checked off for you?
Yeah, I did it in my business communication class.
Okay. You may just want to have the May Center check too.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll also do a LinkedIn. You got a LinkedIn account?
Yeah, I did have it on here, but I think we just wiped it out.
No problem. So, let me see. I'm going to go check out your LinkedIn.
I don't know. I saw it earlier, but since we were wiping stuff out, I don't know if it.
Oh, it's not me. You can easily add that back in.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, I'm checking out your
Yeah, there it is. It's on there.
You're only a second. What's going on with that?
Huh?
What's going on with that? Only a second.
A second.
Second level.
Oh. I'm still messing with this thing. I'm a social butterfly in person, not on internet. So like here, can we spread that out? Because I noticed like on the email, it kind of pushes it down.
On what? Where?
Like this part.
I don't know what you
Oh, on the main page where it has, you know, my picture and then name and studies and all that. Where it
okay.
has like my
Can
email.
you
but-
share? Can you share so I can,
oh yeah, sorry.
since I have no clue what the hell you're talking about?
Okay, like right here, see how it's
Oh, okay.
pushing down?
Well, that's because you have a small screen, number one.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. There's,
Okay.
you have like a super small screen here.
Yeah, it's like a 14-inch laptop, so that's why I have to squint. Okay, well, I just wanted to check because I didn't know if that was irregular or what.
Yeah, I mean, you can change it with like, so here, let me
I mean, I don't want to keep you, but you know, I
show
just
you.
wanted to see if that was an option later on.
Oop. So that's how I see it on a regular computer.
Oh, okay. So that's no problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we got a lot of stuff here we're gonna fix up on you, huh?
Yeah, I was working on it. So some of that Greek or whatever it is, I still haven't filled in that part.
Oh,
See, I was working on it during the summer.
yeah. I graduated before you. No, I graduated after you.
Oh, did you?
Graduated in 95.
Where'd you graduate from?
Norwich University. It's in
Oh,
Vermont.
okay. Well, I only took one class at that Northwood. That's why I was in the Navy.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll still live to you later.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay.